welcome to the award-winning Randolph in Action. My name is David Murphy, and I'm proud to serve as your town manager. We're here today with our friends from RCTV to take a tour of the Randolph Intergenerational Community Center to see your local government at work. We'll be talking with Community Center Director Jovan Zuniga and Community Program Director Mark Craig to learn more about this fantastic municipal facility and the wide range of programs that go on every single day here. Why don't we take a walk through and meet Mr. Craig and Mr. Zuniga. Hey Mark, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I appreciate you taking the time today to give us a tour of this beautiful facility. It's absolutely amazing. But before we get into the facility itself, why don't you tell us a little bit about how we got to this point? What is the process that a facility like this actually comes to be?
Sure. So we started in earnest in 2014 after many years of kind of talking about a community center or youth center in town. In 2014, we started a feasibility study that moved on to design of a building. Went to town council for appropriation for building the facility. I started construction in 2016 and opened last November 2017.
Right, that's very exciting. So there must have been a lot of support built to go along with this, and I see obviously Council Fernandez on the wall behind you, and the town council for the last number of years has been very supportive. So talk to me about once the appropriation has been offered, kind of the folks that supported the team, from the town project team to the architect to the construction company. I mean, how does this come out of the ground?
Yeah, so we had a team, myself, the town planner, Michelle Tyler, and obviously yourself, and we did a number of design sessions prior to the appropriation that the community was able to be involved and choose what was going to be a part of the building, choose random aspects of the building, and that's when that community support started to build. And really everyone wanted to see this building come to life. And then once the appropriation came in, it was building that interest of what's going to happen, and they see the construction site, what's going to happen in that space, and obviously the tremendous support from town council for the building itself was very important.
And did you have a number of community charrettes? Did the public have a significant opportunity to provide their input into what this was actually becoming as a community center?
Yeah, we had 7 charrettes, whether they were at Stetson Hall, the Turner Free Library, over at the middle school, where basically giant pieces of paper were laid out, community members could draw what they wanted to see, and those were all incorporated into the design of this building.
Right. So the concept of an intergenerational community center, we see a lot of senior centers, we'll even see some rec centers, youth centers. Talk to me from your perspective as a community programs director overseeing both recreation and council on aging senior services, how that concept fits into this building.
Sure, so there's, like you said, around the state there's plenty of senior centers, plenty of rec centers, very few are combined, and certainly very few are combined with the common goal of serving the entire population at once. We have the opportunity of being 7 days a week. Very few municipal buildings are open 7 days a week, and being the extended hours that we have, there's very, very few across the state that have ever mentioned to this territory.
Why don't we take a walk? Sure. I've obviously been to the building a number of times, but why don't we share it with the folks at home on Randolph in Action and get a sense of the entire facility, and you can talk to about the different rooms and what they're used for.
Sure. We'll start out in our lounge. So the lounge is the perfect quiet space as members come in to either sit, relax, do their homework. We have a few people who operate their small business. They bring their computers and do a little bit of work here in a nice quiet space. It's adjacent to our greenhouse, so you'll have some gardening programs in there. But it's a nice, comfortable furniture. This is kind of like the living room of the community center.
It has that feel to it. I love the different types of furniture you have in here and the variety. And talk to me about the process that you go through to kind of outfit a 36,000 square foot building.
36,000 square foot. So we had we went through Red Thread in Boston. Michelle Tyler and I went to Red Thread and kind of looked at their catalog of furniture. And when we saw these kind of strange-looking single pods, we decided we need to have that for the community center. And in the afternoon, this kid's sitting here doing homework, this kid's studying, and in the morning, I've seen a few seniors kind of laying back, reading a book, and actually a senior the other day was watching a movie on her iPad while sitting in this nice little quiet space, too.
This is great.
Yeah, so the furniture has that living room feel, and this has kind of muted tones, where the rest of the building has bright, shiny colors to make that kind of quiet space feel. Even the lights in this room are completely different than the rest of the building to give it that homey feel. Like I said, the greenhouse is right here. We have gardening programs. We have programs where we're actually growing food for some of our cooking classes. So they're growing some herbs in here. and it stays warm throughout the winter. And we can open some vents as it gets closer to summer so we can continue growing year-round too.
So do you run classes, gardening classes, or what type of activities do you have? Do you have folks independently coming out here and doing this, or do you have instructional programs that support the greenhouse as well too?
We have a few people who just asked for a small space. They either live in an apartment or a condo and they want to have some gardening space. They didn't have it in the yard. So we have a few people that are just growing some small herbs, and we also have gardening classes too. And then some of our chefs that are doing cooking classes have some herbs being grown so they can use it in their programs as well.
Sure, great.
Yeah. So the lounge area also has right off of it a patio. The patio has checker tables, chess tables. We have some new patio furniture coming in the coming weeks that kind of have that outdoor restaurant feel where it's the tables and chairs and the nice umbrellas. And it's a perfect day out right now where you can get the breeze coming through here, and you can obviously see the Imagination Station playground as well. And the walking path actually continues over to DeSalle Drive, so any seniors who live there can easily off-road, come on a paved path over to the building. And we're kind of centrally located here. We have the Zapusas Arena recreation area, the Williams Gazebo, the baseball fields, and further up Belcher Park. So centrally we are located in the recreation epicenter of town too.
So this is a complex. If you had families of divergent ages, interests, abilities, etc., whether it's the playground, whether it's the park, whether it's the community center, the rink, the baseball fields, really this is almost the hub of the recreational wheel in town now, where you're right in the middle of all this other positive activity. So you may spend an hour and a half on a beautiful day like today in the playground. You may spend an hour and a half here at an art class or a cooking class, and then take a walk through one of our beautiful parks. So talk to me about the bocce courts too.
Yeah.
I see that you have some new bocce courts over there.
So we have two bocce courts that were funded through CPA, the town of Randolph, and also from a donation from the Good family. So those bocce courts, anyone can come up and grab a bocce set from the front desk. They can play bocce and return it as they want, but it's great. It's one of those intergenerational programs where you can have kids and seniors playing. I mean, it's not a hard game to pick up once you read the rules. You can pick up very easily, and with it being right next to the playground, so you can have parents, instead of just sitting on a park bench watching their kids play, they can be playing bocce while their kids are playing right next to them too.
That's great. I see you also have some chess and some checker tables out here too. Is that just free play, or do you offer certain classes or instruction on that as well too?
We have chess programs coming up in the summer. And with the warm weather, we're going to be outside a little bit more.
Right.
But we've noticed that people can check out chess and checkers tables, the games from the front desk. Some people have brought their own. In the afternoon, once school gets out, there's actually been a chess club who comes down here and practices too. It's nice to be outside.
It sure is. It's a beautiful space. Why don't we check out the rest of the building?
Sure.
So there really is a incredible outside space that complements the inside space in the building. Now that we're inside in the beautiful air-conditioned facility, talk to us about the facilities you have that run and the programs that you run 12 months a year here inside the community center building.
Sure. So we have a number of programs for all ages. So the very first thing is people come in, they come in through either the doors that you came in or the door by the playground. People come in, they have their membership card. If they don't have a membership card, they can sign up at the front desk. They scan in, and from there they can either register for a program, or if it's a program where they're just dropping in, they can just go right to where they need to go. But our front desk is sort of that central hub of if someone needs information of what programs are coming up in the next few weeks or what programs are there today. We have some people who just come and say, what's there to do today? I want to just do something. I don't know what I want to do, but I want to do something. So they come to the front desk, they can register there, and then the front desk staff will then direct them to whatever program room throughout the building they need to be in.
So talk to me about the membership process. I know you have close to 5,000 members, I think, or thereeabouts. So talk to me about what the folks at home who want members would do in order to become a member and how much that would cost on an annual basis.
Sure. So we're at 6,500 members as of today.
Great.
And we are a little over 6 months in, so I'm very happy with that number to begin with. So anyone from Randolph can come in, show their ID, show a piece of mail, come to the front desk, and for a student it's $5, for a senior it's $5.
That's per year now.
Per year, okay. Per year. For an adult it's $7, and for a family of up to 6 people it's $20. So everyone gets a membership card, everyone can come in, so we have anyone 13 and older can come by themselves. If it's someone 12 or younger, has to come with a parent. We have 13-year-olds who come after school, scan in, and they can participate in any number of activities they want.
Now, how does that compare to membership in some other similar clubs that you're aware of?
It's a lot cheaper, compared to a YMCA or a boys club or basically any sort of health club. We've kind of made it so this is the place to be. And by charging a small fee, we're able to cover the cost of some of the staff that we have here, but we also make it attainable for everyone in town as well.
Great.
Yeah.
So we're standing in front of one of the aesthetic centerpieces of the entire building. So talk to me a little bit about what we're looking at and how this came to be.
Sure. So as we know, Randolph is an incredibly diverse community, and leading up to the opening of the community center, we wanted a way to showcase that everyone in Randolph is different, regardless of age, culture, background. So we had people at all these different events draw a picture of their face, and they can draw a face, and so that way they knew they were going to be part of their mural, our mural that is showcased here. So whether it was school children, seniors at the senior center, Harvest Hoopla, we just had draw your face, draw whatever you'd like to be, and we can make it as one big mural. So as above you can see, out of many, one Randolph. So as you kind of zoom out, it's not just the faces, but it's also hands coming together, kind of holding hands as we all come together.
I love it. That's fantastic. Yeah. Why don't you take us and show us the rest of the first floor?
So directly behind us is the large multi-purpose room. This room can be divided in half. We can seat a large number of people, or it can be opened and we can seat even more. So we have larger programs here. And you notice we also have a lot of glass, so we can see into the space, where you can also easily open these doors and have it kind of the program free flow into the hallway if we need to, too.
I think this is one of the coolest design features, Mark, of the building. Talk to us a little bit about the selection of this design. It appears to be almost a glass wall, but in reality it's similar to a garage door that can open up and really become adaptable space.
Correct, yeah. It's something that program participants don't even realize it is a garage door, and every once in a while we'll open the door and the program participants will be there and, oh my God, the door opens up, and it's something that can be easily raised up with a touch of a button, and it can be, with it being glass, it looks nice too. It's a nice aesthetic feel. Yeah. So, if someone is bringing their child to a basketball program and they peek in, they see a Tai Chi class, oh, I really want to do that, I really want to join that, they can go right back to the front desk and join at that moment.
So the design itself becomes almost marketing for the programs that exist in there by sharing with people who could be in a variety of different programs with spaces throughout the building. They can see everything else that's going on that they might be interested in, or they might get introduced to something that's completely new to them.
Exactly. So if you'll notice as we're kind of walking down the hallway, we have some art that's from Jamal Eversley. So we have a rotating artist series. This is actually the very end of his series. We're now in selection process to bring new art. So that way the building doesn't feel stale every time people come in. There's something new, there's something vibrant. And we have a selection process that goes through the Community Center Advisory Board to see what the new art every few months we're going to showcase throughout the building. So we have also on the first floor, men's and women's room. These rooms have changing areas, showers, locker rooms, and obviously bathrooms as well. So that way if someone's coming in after a basketball game and they want to change and shower before they go home, they can do that if they'd like to as well.
So if you wanted to go to the gym in the morning before you went to work or something like that, you could work out in the workout room, take a shower, get off to work, and you have the facilities right here so that you don't have to go back and forth.
Exactly. The other half of the multi-purpose room is behind us, and that sort of leads into our cafe area. So have a great cafe that I eat lunch at pretty much every day at this point. You come on down and you just kind of grab, it's affordably priced, whether it's healthy food or even some not so healthy food. We have yogurt, we have fruit, hot dogs, water, all that great stuff, and a great staff that works there as well. So the cafe area after school gets out is very busy. I mean, people are grabbing grabbing snack after school, doing their homework in the cafe. And during the morning, we have a lot of seniors who will come grab a cup of coffee, grab a Cinnabon before actually joining a program. They'll come in, have a socialization place as well.
Sure. So this is really the front end of the cafe, but there's also a pretty unique feature as it relates to the kitchen itself. Mm-hmm. Now, I understand that there's a teaching kitchen that's part of this that you also run classes at?
Yeah, let's head back there. Hey, Alicia, can you let us in? Thank you.
You're welcome.
So our teaching kitchen is set up with all commercial grade appliances, and this is a great space for 8 to 10 students to learn from a chef or cooking instructor of what kind of meal that they're actually preparing. We have a number of different cooking classes, but it's just a nice space to try and learn. And then actually every morning we have Meals on Wheels that operates out of this space as well. So they're here preparing meals for homebound seniors too.
Any idea how many folks are serviced through this Kitchen on Meals on Wheels? I mean, that's a very valuable program for folks that can't get out of their homes, and I don't want to understate the value of that program out of this facility as well.
They prepare 1,400 meals here every month in the space.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah, and they deliver out, obviously, throughout the community.
So I see that the kitchen is a pretty significant size window behind me. Is that the multi-purpose room? You're able to coordinate with the kitchen and the
Yeah,
The
so
multi-service rooms?
we have a number of programs, whether it's a senior congregate lunch where the meal will be prepared in here, window will be opened up and it'll be served to seniors on the other side. And actually some of the cooking classes that have grown in size have spilled out into that multi-purpose room. And so kind of like a real cooking show, they're able to open the window and teach the students, close it, okay, and then get the meals prepared and actually served to people out there in that room as well.
Great.
Yeah.
You get a little Master Chef Junior program going on here? Yeah.
We have stuff for little kids, we have stuff for teenagers and senior cooking classes as well.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Now take me to the gym. That's
Sure.
really the largest part of the new community center, right?
It is, yeah. We're blessed with a double gymnasium that is active throughout the day. Right now we have some guys playing basketball, but in the morning we had a large number of seniors playing pickleball. And then probably a couple hours from now, this place will be filled with teenagers after school staying active, whether it's basketball or a different volleyball program. They're actually in here exercising or working out.
So for the folks that aren't aware, I've gotten a crash course in pickleball, but tell the folks at home exactly what pickleball is.
Pickleball is the fastest growing sport in America. There's currently 3 million pickleball players in America. Tennis has about 10 million players, so that just shows you how big it's becoming. So pickleball is halfway between ping pong and tennis. So if you can picture that it's not as aerobic as tennis, but something where it's a nice sport. It's played in about half the size of a normal tennis court, and it's a great activity for seniors or those that need a little bit strenuous activities.
Sure. So one of the most impressive parts about the design of this building, Mark, is the adaptability. Being a community center, we can't anticipate what the needs of the community are going to be 10 years, 15 years, 6 months out from now, and that may change. So this particular room has a tremendous amount of flexibility. So why don't you talk to me about the design and what that allows to happen? We talk about basketball and pickleball, but in reality, there's a lot more that happens in this room, and tell us a little bit why.
Sure. So this gymnasium, all the basketball hoops can raise up. We have curtains that can divide the gymnasium in half. We also have curtains that can divide it further into quarters. And so like this morning we had a Tai Chi group that has outgrown our dance studio, which I'll show you later. So they were actually using this gymnasium and filled up about 3/4 of the entire gym with Tai Chi students. It was a great picture to see. But also we can host events here. So this past weekend we had our senior prom where we had 150 senior citizens come out for a prom, and this room was decorated with all sorts of colors and crayons that it made it so it was a great meal area, and they also had dancing right in the middle with the DJ provided.
Oh, that's great. And I also see that there are stands and bleachers. Do you have basketball leagues or organizations that also use this as their home?
Yeah, so we have our own internal Double R basketball league that plays here every Saturday throughout the winter. We also rent the space to Randolph Youth Basketball, who uses the gymnasium on Sundays as well.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah, so the space, we have mats that can come down, so it's not just basketball, it's not just gymnasium activities. We can do anything. There was a veterans movie hosted here over the weekend, so we can do any sort of large indoor event can be hosted in this space too.
Great. And I see that around the perimeter on the second floor of the gym is actually an elevated walking track.
Yeah, so it's a 3-lane walking track, which I'll show you in a little bit, and it's 14 laps around us for a mile.
So in addition to the amazing facilities and programs that are the community center, there's also a functional component of this building, and that's the offices of the recreation department, the council on aging community programmings, and also the veterans office. So can you tell us a bit about this wing of the building?
Sure. So behind our front desk, we have the James M. Hurley Administration Suite, obviously named after Jim Hurley, the former veterans agent, and actually the namesake for the building we were in previously, the James M. Hurley Senior and Veterans Center, the old McNeil School. So we have the Veterans Department, Elder Affairs, and Recreation Department all in one space. It's a one-stop shop, so if a senior needs to come in and wants to talk about outreach services, they can talk to our outreach coordinators here. If they want to make a van appointment, they can make van appointments there or call. If it's a veteran who needs services, they can talk to Kevin in the Veterans Department. And also we do our summer camp registration here as well.
Sure. Are you finding that because of the new facility, you're capturing more residents that weren't touched by your services before, whether it's veterans or seniors? Now that you're in a place that's generating more foot traffic, are you seeing an uptick in interaction with residents because of this?
Yeah, we really are, especially the Elder Affairs, those senior services. We have seniors who are 60 years old that would normally never consider themselves seniors, would never go to a senior center. They come to this space, they are considered a senior, and they're actually eligible for a lot of the services we provide. So whether they either don't have a license or don't have a vehicle, we can take them to medical appointments or around town, and they might not have utilized the service before because they never consider themselves a senior. Too.
Sure. Well, that's great. So why don't we finish our walk upstairs?
Sure. So we're walking up the stairs. Obviously, we do have an elevator for those who aren't comfortable on stairs that goes from the first floor to the second floor. And it lets off right near the landing of our second floor, too. So right up here, we have kind of a mini lobby area on the second floor. It's kind of a nice congregating area outside of 2 additional offices. Carrie Sullivan, who's our adult and senior program director, and Will Thompson, who's our child teen program director. So their job is to make sure we have a lot of programs and activities for the different age ranges as well. So we have our multimedia room that has 3 65-inch TVs with Nintendo Switch, Xbox, and PlayStation. And it's such a nice little setup where we can have a lot of kids or adults or seniors playing video games all at once. So the other day, I took a nice picture. There was a couple of seniors actually being showed how to use Nintendo Switch by some teenagers. It was just a nice little feeling of area of seniors using video games too.
So you have the 3 different games, right?
Yes.
And here it's not just one system. So some of the young people, if they have a system at home, let's imagine that they're lucky enough to have an Xbox or a Switch or a PS4. They now can come in here and use whatever system they may not have, or if they don't have one at home at all, they have an opportunity to access some of the games that many of their friends are talking about.
Exactly. So they actually, anyone can come in and rent out the controllers or the video games from the offices we just passed by. They can sign our time. So obviously if there's busier times, they can only play for a little while, but anyone can come and just show their member ID, get a game, play. And it's a great space because we have these bright open windows right here. So as people are driving by, they see this real activity center throughout the evening and afternoon as people are playing in this space too.
And I love the furniture. We talked downstairs about the pretty unique and cool furniture choices we have here. This building is the same thing. So this is almost, in a lot of respects, almost a teen lounge because of the video game piece. So talk to me about the furniture choices here. This furniture is pretty cool. It reminds me of a modern bowling alley.
Yeah, so we wanted to make sure we could fit as many people around one TV as possible, so that way this room could have a high capacity. So, there could be, obviously there's 2 to 4 people playing a game at a time, but there's also a whole bunch of other people either cheering them on or maybe egging them on if it's someone not doing so great. So they kind of have this bar top seating where people can sit and sort of watch over, and then also some people can be standing around the TVs as well.
Right. So if I want to come in and play a video game, do I register for a time slot, or how do I get in the queue for... When I was going to date myself here, but you used to have to put the quarter on top of the video game to save your spot. I'm assuming that today's day and age is a lot different.
We
right?
don't do the quarters, but we do have staff that once 3 o'clock comes, once the high school gets out, we actually have a staff person in this room until the end of the night. So if there's a queue, if there's a line, we just go up to the staff person and say, I want to get in line to play Nintendo Switch, and they'll give you a time. It could be about 15 minutes or, okay, play right now.
What are your most popular games? What do the kids like the most?
We have Fortnite. I've never played, but we do have Fortnite. That's an exciting game. We also have a lot of the Mario games on Nintendo Switch that everyone goes crazy for.
They play the NFL, NBA, the 2Ks too?
All NBA and NFL on both systems too.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So a little bit of everything then.
Yes.
Oh, that's great. Why don't we see the rest of the upstairs?
Sure. So similar to the media room, we have another multi-purpose room that has different kinds of games. We have our pool table, our billiards table, where anyone who's a member can come and check out the pool cues, check them out from the offices over there, and anyone can come and play whenever they'd like. We also have this space for programs that, downstairs we have a giant program room for people from 50 to 75 people. So not all of our programs are giant programs. Some of them are more intimate. So this is a perfect space to do some of those smaller type programs.
Sure. So if I want to come in here and relax and have a good social element, game of cards, game of pool, what have you, just again, another space where you have the adaptability to do whatever it is that the community feels is in their interest at that time.
Exactly. Yeah, we have a lot of table game programs that happen in this space because it's just 2 tables, Scrabble games that are playing back and forth, so it's only 8 people at one time.
What are some of those other games? You mentioned a lot of table games. You play Scrabble, you play, what else do you guys offer?
We have Scrabble, Mahjong, chess, dominoes, checkers. Yeah, that's about it.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah, a little bit of
That's
everything.
Great.
Yeah. As we go down the hallway, we are passing by our arts room, art studio. So you can see that glass garage door that downstairs was down. On the second floor, it is up. So this room is very different from the rest of the building because it has different flooring. So if someone's doing painting and spills 2 gallons of red paint, it's not the end of the world. We can clean it up a little bit easier. So this room has a slop sink. We can clean up after art supplies. We also have some storage for craft activities. And we also have these furniture that kind of raise and lower so we can do kind of stadium-style seating so an instructor can stand up front as well.
So what types of art classes that you're running here? This looks like there's some pretty creative work up the front and on the boards here. And again, the functionality of these spaces is what impresses me the most about the design. So talk to me about the range of activities that you see here from an art perspective. Because not everybody wants to play in the gym, right? Not everyone wants to play video games. So I think what's impressive is there really is something for everybody here. So give the people a sense of the range of art activities you have.
Sure. So we have a crafting group that's here every single Wednesday. It's mostly senior crafters. We also have visual arts. We have coding classes here that people are actually coding on the computers. We bring in MacBooks. We have painting classes. We have watercolor painting classes. We even have kind of a paint by number type class. And different age categories. We also have like paint afternoons, which are really popular. We do a few of those here as well.
That's great. This is also the room, Mark. I just want to highlight one of the programs that is being run out of there, which is the Thrive program, which is the Financial Opportunity Center, which yourself and Jovan have provided some space for in partnership with a bunch of regional service providers to really help people increase their income and assets. And this is also one of those home bases of that Thrive program, which helps seniors with tax forms, which helps young college people fill out financial aid applications, which has first-time home buyers workshop, which help people with all kinds of benefit programs to, stabilize their family situation, increase their job training, increase their educational credits, and really is a key part of this facility because we have a lot of walk-in traffic here, so we can educate and market some of those programs to folks who we wouldn't otherwise be able to reach. So again, I think having this location, in addition to the excellent programs and services that it provides, allows us to market some of the additional resources that people may not know about because of the amount of walk-in traffic we're having. So I wanted to point out the Thrive piece as it relates to this facility because it really is, I think, one of the better things that's happening all throughout town, not just in this building.
Yeah, this room lends itself really well to classes of 25 or so where we can have an instructor either talking about first-time homebuyer classes at the front and people with, we can plug in computers right below the plugs and everyone can be taking notes if they really need to in the space too.
That's great. Well, let's keep going. This is pretty exciting.
So further down our hallway we have a dance studio. And this is where we hold a number of different dance classes, whether it's Tai Chi, Wanji, we have hip hop dance class, we have ballroom dance class. This is also where yoga class is. And it's a nice space to participate in the dance program. Obviously, it has a dance floor as well.
Can I ask you to demonstrate some of your better ballet moves?
I wish that I could. I wish I had some sort of talent. Nah,
no,
not me.
No dance moves at all?
No, I'm not that great.
What an incredible space. So, I mean, with the mirrors, I mean, this looks like any dance studio that you'd see in a professional dance academy. So talk to me about the types of uses that you've seen from other organizations in town. Do you have specific instructors that come in and teach these classes? Or what does this room look like when it's full? So
we have different types of, we have instructors who come in and want to teach a class. They want to be a subcontractor, and they make a program proposal to the program staff. They say, I'm a hip-hop dance instructor, and I want to teach a class. So we get them on our rolls, get them publicity, and start registering people. So we do have some of those types of classes. We also have rentals. So a couple of dance academies in town have rented out this space to do sort of a practice space, or maybe sort of showcase their talents in this space as well. We also have, if you want to come down and try out your own moves, you can just sort of talk to the program, if you want. Talk to the program staff and say, very few people have a space like this in their house, so they can come down and practice themselves. In the afternoon, we have some of the high school cheerleaders were in here practicing the other day, just sort of getting the feel for it.
One of the things that we talked about when we were downstairs is the locker rooms and the fact that there was an active gym that members could use. Could we take a walk through there and you could kind of showcase what it is that we offer?
So anyone who chooses to, they can pay for a separate gym exercise room membership, which is actually fairly affordable. That's that same numbers I talked about earlier, the 5 for seniors and students, 7 for adult, 20 for family, but per month, and they have access to the space. So we hand out individualized codes that you saw I just plugged in. So it's only for the members that choose to, so not everyone has to pay a little bit extra for the exercise room, but if they want to, they can. So we have set up with 4 different treadmills, ellipticals, exercise bikes, have TVs that can be showing whatever channel they want to watch, and a small little weight area too.
So for residents that are members of gyms or anything else like that, a membership to this facility, $5 or $7 for a membership plus $5 or whatever it is, $7 for a gym membership. Again, in addition to the programming offering, extremely competitive in a brand new facility.
Yeah, and what we try and do is pair programs with the space. So if you're a dad who wants to lose a couple pounds, but also your son wants to participate in a program down the hall, you can do that. So there might be a coding class right next door, while you can come in and run on a treadmill while your son's enjoying an activity too.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
So the intergenerational piece is, the entire family can have activities here at the same time, whether it's the mother and father walking the track, as the son takes an art class, the daughter plays basketball, whatever it may be. But really, you could spend an entire day here with your family doing all kinds of different activities and events.
Yeah, and some people do. They spend all day Saturday, whether it's participating in activity or just sort of enjoying the opportunities that we have here to offer.
All right, so this is truly an amazing physical facility. The building itself is incredible, but the building is only one part of it, right? Building the building is actually the easy part. It's the programming that goes on inside the building that really determines the community's response to it. So talk to me a little bit about community programming and how the town goes about developing that programming.
Sure. So before the building opened, we were actually lucky to hire Jovan Zuniga, Randolph resident.
Hey, Jovan.
Able to hire him.
Good to see you.
Nice to see you.
In August before the building opened, a few months before, and he's able to develop some amazing programs in the space too.
Talk to me about that process, Jovan. So you come on board, there's a new building in the process of being built. It wasn't even completed when you were hired. So you have to develop a vision as to what it is that you want to happen inside this building. Talk to me about the process that you used to build the programming that meets the community's needs.
Well, it really starts with the mission and really identifying what the mission here is. Let's fast forward to now. And we offer, I really can't say enough about this, we offer over 80 different programs, activities, and services here at the community center. Now, it's kind of a split model. So if you want to come in and you want to just enjoy a program, maybe make a new friend, learn a new skill with your particular age bracket, you're more than welcome to do that. And again, we have over 80 opportunities to make that happen. But what makes this place special is our intergenerational opportunities. And now what that really means is we look at intergenerational and we developed a model that says we are at the intersection between age and culture, which means we have a huge opportunity to bridge some gaps there. And I'll give you a beautiful example. Just this weekend, we held our senior citizen prom. And over 100 seniors came in, dressed up, ready to enjoy a meal and have a great time dancing and mingling with their peers. But what made that program extra special was that it was designed by and with teens. So teens were there through the whole step of the process, through every step of the process. So they planned it, they designed it, they went out and they bought the table covers, they served the meals, and the most beautiful thing happened at the end of the night. They joined in on the dance floor with the seniors. So if you take this snapshot of a moment where you have people of different ages and cultures enjoying in music together, really kind of building community, that's really what it's all about. So we have a whole department dedicated to really thinking about how do we develop these intergenerational opportunities that really brings unity and breaks down barriers and creates learning in our community about one another.
That is phenomenal. When we talk about what we were trying to accomplish in building this center, that story that you just told is precisely what we hope to accomplish. But to see it actually and hear it actually come together really is extremely motivating from the standpoint of what we're trying to do to continue this. So talk to me about some of the day-to-day programming. So I'm a senior, a family, a teen, what have you. Where do I find out about your program? What's the best resource that I can learn about all of the offerings, the 80-plus offerings that you talk about?
So we have a monthly newsletter. It's called The Sunny Side. So it's delivered out in the community. It goes in children's backpacks at school. It's available online as a digital copy. And it's available here at the center. So if you just drop in, there's plenty of copies of The Sunny Side. We break down each section by age. So you have your children in teen section, your adult and senior section, and then your intergenerational section. So the Sunny Side is definitely the go-to, and it actually gives you a tactile feel of what we have going on here. And then there's a bunch of resources online. So you can go to our website, randolphicc.com, or you can go to our Facebook page at randolphicc. And then we put daily updates on there. We have program flyers. We have daily programs that we upload twice a day. So that's your one-stop shop for everything that we have going on at the
So
community center.
if somebody has a computer, that's the best way to do it. Go to randolphicc.com. All the resources from membership information to programming to everything about the center is right there on that website.
Computer, tablet, smartphone, anything that connects to the internet.
Sure.
That'll have all the information on there.
So talk to me about the actual programs themselves. Give us, the viewers at home, a sense of, a flavor of the different programs that you're running that would get their attention to come in the door.
Sure. We really span the spectrum. So we have sports, fitness, recreation, education, life skills, and beyond. And so when you really think about the different types of programs, there's really something for everyone. I'll give a few examples. So if you're a senior or you may not want to identify as a senior, maybe you're an adult who wants to engage in some different programs, we have great programs like Tai Chi. We have a program called Forever Fit. It's a cardio class for seniors, really popular. We have between 15 and 25 joining on those classes daily. If you're a teen, you can join in our Young Men's or Young Women's Life Skills group. But we also have dance classes. We have arts classes, so we have paint afternoons. We have Wanji. We have tap dance, belly dance. It really spans the spectrum. Again, over 80 programs, and I don't think we have enough time to cover all of them.
Right.
Sunnyside's a great resource for that.
We don't have enough time to cover all of them, but I'm very interested in the work that you are doing on the life skills component. So if you're a young person in the community, talk to me a little bit more in detail about some of the life skills programs that we offer, whether it's the parents watching at home or maybe it's the young people to watch this program themselves. Really, some of the more impressive programming that you're doing, I think, is in this particular area. So why don't you tell the viewers at home a little bit more about the life skill component?
Sure, absolutely. So we look at life skills in two ways. There's the hard skills and then there's the soft skills. So the hard skills will be things like skill building. We have culinary arts classes. We also have basketball drills that we run. We really take a different approach to the rec model that just says you can come in and play basketball separate. We really say, okay, no, this is an entry point for you to gain some real basketball skills. Excuse me. And then on the soft skills end, we teach things like character building. We really take civics seriously, so we take a hard look at what's going on in our community and really the country as a whole, and take varying perspectives on that and help youth really develop those critical thinking skills that's going to take them into the future. We also have programs like coding for kids and for teens. Again, another hard skill that can really propel them into their professions going forward. We talk about college readiness. We have tutors that come in and help them with homework help. We partner with the Quincy Resource Center for them to come in also and teach some homework help and tutoring also. So there's again, when you think about the span of different types of programs, they're all here.
That's really fantastic. So I would strongly encourage folks to take a look at the website if you have the ability, randolphicc.com. Come by, walk in. Their walk-ins are welcome. The membership fee is extremely reasonable. We've talked about that. But there truly is something for everybody. The work being done here by you and your staff, and along with Mark and his staff, really is some of the best stuff that's happening in municipal government, not just in Randolph, but anywhere that I've seen. So I personally want to thank you two for implementing really the most difficult part of the job, right? The vision is relatively easy compared to the execution, and the work that's going on in this building every single day is extremely motivating to the rest of us, and I really appreciate the work that you folks have been doing.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sean. I appreciate it. Mark, thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate it. No problem.
Well, we hope you enjoyed today's program. I think you've learned why we're so excited about the new Intergenerational Community Center, all of the programs, all of the offerings, and all of the community coming together in this fantastic new space. I want to thank Mr. Craig, Mr. Zuniga for their tour today. I want to thank my friends from RCTV for another fantastic job. And I want to thank the Randolph Town Council who have supported this project from the very beginning, both from construction and a programming standpoint. And I want to make special note of former Councilor Paul Fernandez, who the Community Center is named in memory of, for all of his support through the years. Thank you for tuning in, and we hope you enjoyed the program.